Hi everyone. It's Wednesday, it's 5 o'clock. Welcome to my Wednesday live at 5. I have started doing a series where I'm talking about different topics that people ask me about every week. And this one is no different. So last week I did one on confidence. So if you didn't catch that, please go ahead and find that. But today is a really important subject, which is the power and importance of personal branding. Now, this may be a topic that you've come across, it might not be. But today I just wanted to advise you on your steps on to be able to absolutely make sure that when you walk in a room, people know who you are and people stop and take notice. So I am quite well known in the Salesforce ecosystem as being part of Supermums. I am a real big advocate of mission of getting women into tech and men, not just women. We also do training for teams. So I absolutely love to speak to people and watch them grow. So I've got a bit of an understanding where people know who I am because they've spoken to me in their very beginning of their career journey, and I'm always celebrating their successes. So people know me for that. I do also go along to a lot of the events. I am very vocal. I go around and speak to everyone, make sure I take some selfies and make sure I get them on social media. So as I say, I've built up my personal branding by getting to know people and putting myself out there. Also, excitingly being part of Mums on Cloud9 podcast, along with Heather Black and Kelly Jace Halls, has absolutely been delightful. Again, when we go along to Mums on Cloud9 events, it's always nice because people recognise our pink jackets, which again is just a theme that we've dreamt up, and it's really great to be known for that. So I even had someone send me a pink water bottle because they just knew that pink was my colour. So again, it's just about getting people to know who you are, stepping outside of your comfort zone a little bit, and just showing up and being present is a massive tip for me. So in terms of how do you do this, I just wanted to say that when people think about you and they hear your name, what comes to mind? Jeff Bezos once said, your brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. And I think that is really important. You want people to be able to trust you, to be able to know you, because honestly, it's so true. Because whether you realize it or not, you already have your own personal brand. And I guess it's how you choose to get that out there. You know, if you're looking for a job, for example, people don't sit and look at CVs, resumes anymore. Of course they do. But a lot of people already will know you from social media. So sometimes, again, it's all about finding the right people, following the right people, liking what people are putting, getting to know organizations, and finding all the people in there. There are so many tips and tricks along the way, but I think it's all about, for you as an individual, finding your niche, finding something and holding on to it, and absolutely celebrating along with everyone else. And, you know, I suppose a question is, you know, are you controlling the narrative, or are you letting others define you? I know that might just sound a little bit cliche, but it is so true. I think your personal brand stands before you even come into a room, as I just said. So just a quick story. As I said, I came across Supermums myself just by following Heather and liking what she did. And, you know, and I think it's about doing that. And it's about people going, when you do a post that people like, they follow your stuff, and, you know, you follow them back. So I think, you know, sometimes you can accidentally fall into your personal brand, But I think turning up at events, talking to people, taking selfies, adding them to socials, tagging everyone, and then I think people do get to know you. And of course, when you tag someone, everyone in their network will see you as well. So I think that again is really important. Find where you want to be, follow your dream, and absolutely, along with your personal brand, you will get there, I promise you. I always say at this point, if you've got any questions for me, obviously find me on LinkedIn, come along and find me at Supermums or Mums on Cloud9, send me a DM. I am always happy to talk to you, and I'm always here to help. So why does personal branding matter? So there's 3 big reasons why it matters. Visibility. That's point number 1. So we live in a noisy digital world. And if people can't find you, they can't trust you, and they don't know you to work with you. So it's that simple. So I think visibility is really important. If you think about LinkedIn, Instagram, people don't just look at your resume anymore, as I said, or your CV. They look at your profile and your posts, and they get your vibe. And I think that's important, because although, of course, your certs and your knowledge and your transferable skills and your industry knowledge and all of that comes in line, but your online presence is your new business card. So bear that in mind. I think visibility is point number 1. Point number 2 is credibility. When you share your ideas, your story, and your expertise, you're positioning yourself as someone who knows their stuff. Even if you're not at the top of your game yet, consistency makes you look like you are. So again, to have people that come to you because you know your stuff, or you're portraying that you know your stuff, is so important. I've seen people who post tips about design, finance, or mindset, and within months they become the go-to person in that circle. So that is branding. That's all about branding. So again, number 3 is opportunity. Your personal brand is your magnet. It attracts people, projects, and possibilities. And every collaboration, job offer, client, it starts with someone seeing you, always. You know how they say that people buy from people, or people see people, and something will land on their desk and they'll go, well, I remember seeing something about this person. They've got a really great vibe about them. They've got a really great smile, which is always a nice one. So opening the door to opportunities is really important. Honesty, honesty is so important. And, if you come across authentic and honest on your posts, as I say, it's going to attract people, and people will come to you and say, I saw your post, can we work together? That's the power of being visible and credible. So how to build your personal brand? So a little story, and as you will know, I've got a story about everything. I met a guy at London's Calling, actually, one of the events that we like to go to. I knew him because he signed up with a training course with me, and he came over to me and said, Lynn, I don't know anyone. What do I do? And I said, here's a little tip. Go round to every stand, speak to everyone, make sure that they remember who you are when they leave here today. He absolutely did that. I'm not saying it's just because of me, but I am so proud of him, because every time I open social media, LinkedIn especially, he is there with a selfie with someone. So it's just great to see people that take note of how to build a personal brand, and they absolutely go and do it. That's where you're going to get the opportunities. So building a personal brand, it's not about fake images or fancy logos. It's about clarity, consistency, and connection. So just to break it down, I'm going to break it down into 5 steps. I like to do steps. So know yourself is first and foremost. Before you post anything at all, get clear on who you are and what you stand for. Ask yourself, what do I care about? What do I want people to know me for? what kind of energy do I want to ooze to the world? And that's where you get your personal brand. And that's where it starts, with clarity. So point number one is to know yourself. Point number two is to pick your platform. So consistency on one platform beats randomness over 5. So you don't have to be everywhere, although it's always great if you are. But you don't have to be. You can start where your audience is, maybe LinkedIn if it's professionals, Instagram for creatives, YouTube if you love video. So again, it's not about being everywhere. It's about consistently being somewhere. So pick your platform is number 2. My third tip is telling your story. And you know how much I love telling a story. Your story is absolutely your superpower. People connect with people, not perfection. So if you can connect with someone, it's about how you make someone feel. So absolutely tell your story, find your niche, and absolutely tell everyone. Share your wins. And, also, I would say your struggles and your lessons and everything behind the scenes, because people remember you and they remember how you made them feel, not just what you've achieved. So it's all very great when you have got a new job and you shout about it and everybody says, well done, or you get a new certificate and everybody is excited. But also it's about people being made to feel a certain way. I'm sure you will have all found a time where somebody's made you feel in a certain way. They might have just said something to you and it's just gone in here, and you'll probably remember what they said forevermore, and you'll remember who said it to you. So I think that is really important when you tell your story and make yourself authentic. Step 4, give value consistently. So again, think of your content as a gift you're giving to other people. It's not a sales pitch. When people get value from you, they do start trusting you. And as I say, trusting you does lead on to other things. So teach someone something, inspire someone, and something you will hear me say a lot, make someone smile. Because if you make someone smile, again, they're going to get that feeling. And we're going back to the fact that if you get the feeling, show them how you made them feel, then that's where you're going to get the you're going to get the followings. And when I say followings, I don't mean that you want everyone to follow you. It's not about that. It's about people trusting you, people knowing you, and then you give your value and opportunities will naturally follow. So number 5 on my tips is build real connections. So your brand grows through your community, which is obviously how I found that. If you engage, comment, collaborate, absolutely celebrate everyone's successes. It's not called social media for a reason. Sorry, it is called social media for a reason. The more genuine you are with people, the stronger your brand becomes. So, as I said, those 5 tips will be really useful for you. So just to go back over those tips again, step 1, know yourself. Step 2, pick your platform. Step 3, tell your own story, which, as you know, I love. Step 4, give value and consistency, and build real connections. And I think the more genuine you are with people, the stronger your brand will become. Just a couple of common mistakes. Copying others. It's okay to be inspired, but your power lies with your authenticity. As I said, there's only one of you. So use that, absolutely use that, because you are special and you need to tell everyone how special you are. Another thing, being inconsistent. Posting once a month and disappearing does confuse people. So, even if it's just once or twice a week, just show up. Just make sure that you are there once a week, twice a week. Don't just disappear and then come back and expect people to re-engage with you, because people follow people. And if they like what you're doing, if they like your content when I'm talking about social media, then absolutely they're going to follow you. They're going to find out more about you, and they're going to like what you do. And then, of course, when you come to these great in-person events, that you can build on that then. And how great is it to walk into an event and go over to someone and say, I saw your post on LinkedIn. LinkedIn's my preferred go-to, or Facebook or Instagram or whatever. I saw your post and I thought how good it was, and it really inspired me, or whatever you're going to say. It just opens up conversations, and when you have them one-to-one meaningful conversations in person, that's where the great things happen. That's where the magic happens, I like to say. Again, you don't need 10,000 followers. If you've got 100 people who trust and believe in you, then that's great. And I would just say something again, how people make you feel. I remember someone that I used to work with, a lovely lady, she said to me, imagine walking into a room of 100 people and they're all liking what you do. I mean, how great is that? So, sometimes you can overthink these things, and you can think, I need, to have 10,000, 20,000 followers. You don't. If you've got 100 people that are on your page, then how great is that? So I'm just going to close up and wrap up now. Remember 3 things from today. You already have your personal brand. The question is, are you building it with intention? Your personal brand is your digital handshake, and it speaks before you do. So you don't need any fancy gear. You don't need a big audience. Just be yourself and share your message and tell your story, and stay consistent. Because people can't follow perfection, they can follow you. So just to say that people that follow you are following you because they like what you do. I hope you found this useful today. Build up your personal brand. Just go for it. Be clear on what you're trying to tell people. And, absolutely just get your name out there, especially if you're, just to say, if you're looking for a job role, find everyone, especially on LinkedIn, follow them, tell them what you do, put some nice posts on there, like them, like what they do, and they'll follow you back. And, I think all of these connections, is what makes the world go round, quite frankly. So I think just, if you take nothing from today, just build on your personal brand. And if you need anything, I'm always here and I'm always happy to help. So I'm Lynn. I'm customer success over at Supermums. If you need me for anything, please let me know. But this is just a reminder, your story is your brand. So tell it boldly. Thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to another session next week. Take care.